common need in Excel is insert a new row, insert a new column. And we do this in a variety of different worksheets. And usually these features work best by using the shortcut menu. That's by way of the right mouse button. You can use, by way of the cells group on the home tab, there's a delete choice there. There's an insert choice here. We see lots of options there. But in this particular worksheet, let's imagine that we need to insert a new row because we're going to add a record here. Now, the data is not sorted right now, but maybe we will sort it. We'll click in column B, and then from the Data tab, simply click AZ. We want to add a new admin training person here. So we can insert above row 5 here. So right-click row 5. You don't even have to select it first. And insert. Notice there's nothing behind that. We don't see any ellipses or 3 dots. What happens? We automatically insert a new row. Now, was that a good idea? As I zoom back a little bit, there's data off to the right. Now, no great harm yet. And in this particular example, that's okay. But maybe you really didn't want a new row there. So keep in mind that sometimes what you want to do is insert cells. Let me press Control-Z to undo this action. Back a few times. There we go. And zoom back. Now, had we known that or had we thought about it, that was not the best approach here. If we want to insert a new record here for an admin training person, we select the cells and then right-click. And make sure you right-click within the cells that have been highlighted. You don't want to right-click outside of this. If you right-click within this, one of the choices is Insert, but recognize it has the ellipsis, the 3 dots behind it, and that means what? An additional dialog box. And so we can shift the cells down in this case. That will not disrupt the data to the right. And then we'll add our new information here. Now, as it turns out later, after doing other things with the worksheet, we didn't really need to add that. So we do want to get rid of this. And of course, I think you know, although we could right-click here and delete the row, let's not do that because it will delete the entire row, including that data to the right. And so if we want to delete, we simply want to delete only the cells in this case. Select these cells, right-click, and delete. And in this case, shift the cells up. Always give this a look. Occasionally, Excel misinterprets what you're trying to do. Click OK, and we see what's happening. It had no effect on the information to the right. So inserting and deleting columns and rows is best done with the right mouse button. And recognize that sometimes you will want to insert multiple columns. If we want a new column to the left of column C and also a new column to the left of column E, using the Control key, we will select those 2 columns and then right-click and insert. And we've got a column to the left of those 2 columns. Once again, at a later time after doing other things here and deciding against that, too late to do and undo, we could certainly select column C and with the Control key select column F and then right-click and delete those columns. If you simply want to move the columns around, you can drag them with the Shift key. If we want the benefits column to be to the left of column C, just select column D, drag this leftward with the Shift key. We simply move the data over there. Be sure to let go of the mouse first when you do that sort of thing. Now, there could be times also when you want to insert multiple rows. Maybe in this case here, we might want to insert rows between all of these. And if we were to highlight this and right-click and insert, we could shift the cells down, but this is going to cause something to happen that you wouldn't want. It's not critical, but it moves them all down. What if we wanted to do this for every row or every other row, but just within this data? Be a little tedious, but we'd have to select these cells, then with the Control key, select these and do this for every row where we wanted an empty row above it. Maybe not above that one, but these. So, got the Control key held down as I'm doing this. And then right-click and insert, and this time shift cells down, and we'll have this effect. Now, if this were all by itself on the same worksheet, we could be doing that for the entire rows as well, too. And let me press Control-Z to undo this. So different ways to insert and delete columns and rows. Now, you might want to insert a new worksheet, and a keystroke shortcut that's been around for quite a while is very effective. It's Shift F11. The current sheet, we see it being highlighted down below. It's the second sheet in this workbook. As I press Shift F11, watch what happens at the bottom of the screen. We've inserted a new sheet to the left of the sheet that had been active. Notice to the right, here's a plus. This will insert a new sheet to the right of the active cell. You can do it that way. And a third way, although not as efficient, if we want a new sheet to the left of this, we can right-click a sheet and choose Insert, but that takes longer because we then have to choose Worksheet and then OK, and we go to the new sheet to the left. So different ways to do this. Now, we can delete these sheets one by one. If you do try and delete a sheet that has data in it, for example, this one, if we right-click this sheet and proceed with Delete, it says you can't undo deleting sheets, and you might be removing some data. If you don't need it, click Delete. Well, we do need it, so let's do a Cancel. For the others, of course, we might want to do that. And using the Control key, we can select these sheets we just created because we don't really need them. So click Sheet 2, for example, hold down the Control key, click Sheet 3, click Sheet 1. Then be sure you do the right-click on the sheet that is initially selected, Sheet 2, and then Delete. And they're all gone. We got no prompt there because those sheets were empty. So different ways of inserting and deleting not only sheets, but earlier columns and rows.